The following segment is sponsored by Intermountain Health. Utah Valley Hospital is supporting a Pink Sink event to connect families affected by breast cancer. Cami Kapp is a breast cancer survivor and a former patient at Intermountain Utah Valley Hospital. Kristen Heath is a certified child life specialist and recreation therapist at Intermountain Health. They are here to tell us more. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. So good to be here.
Great to see you. Okay, Cami, can you tell us a little bit about your cancer journey and how connecting with other patients has helped you?
So 2 years ago, I was receiving weekly chemotherapy treatments, and I was not able to bring anybody with me, and so I really connected with the other patients that were receiving chemotherapy, and a lot of them were breast cancer patients, and I was able to see how they were able to fight with grace and strength and never be a victim. And it really inspired me, and I thought, there's got to be some kind of event that I could go to and connect with more of these people and learn how to do breast cancer.
Sure, sure. And Cami, I'm sure your family felt a range of emotions during this time, right?
Yes, it was, you know, it affects everybody a little bit differently. But what I found was that if there was any little bump in the road, we just didn't have the emotional bandwidth to manage it because we were already maxed out with the stress of the unknowns. Like, what's life going to look like with treatment? Is the treatment going to work? Is it going to come back? Will my mom be alive? Who's going to do the things that my mom normally does while she's in treatment? So there's a lot to carry that we weren't just able to set down and get back to normal life. It was just always there.
Sure, the things that you shouldn't have to think about and feel. And Kristen, how do you see cancer affect families?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that it affects the whole family. It's not just the patient who's getting treatment and going through that. It's everyone from dad or even siblings and parents, but really the children is kind of where our expertise comes in as a child life specialist. I like to say I speak kid and I speak doctor, so we make the hard things make sense to kids and families so that they can cope with them. And I think the biggest thing is there's always a lot of question from patients when they get diagnosed of, okay, I can handle this and I can work through this, but what do I tell my kids?
Yeah.
And how do I work with them? And how do I help them?
Yeah, that's so true. What kind of questions are you seeing kids asking?
Yeah, so there's usually 3 big concerns from kids when they learn that a loved one has cancer or another diagnosis is, was this my fault? Did I do something to cause this? How did this happen? The next one is this contagious? Is this something that I can also get? Is it something that will affect me? Is it something that my dad's gonna get or my siblings or things like that? And then something you kind of mentioned, Cami, of who's gonna do the things that this person does for me normally and how is this gonna affect my life? Because, you know, kids are a little egocentric.
Yeah.
They like to think about themselves sometimes, which is fair.
That's okay, they're kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And so some of those big questions are like, who's gonna take me to school? Who's gonna drop me off? Who's gonna snuggle me and read me books at bedtime and things like that?
Yeah. Well, Kristen, I'm so glad you are there to help with that because that can be so difficult. And Cami, tell us about the Pink Sink event that you created.
So the Pink Sink, well, we've actually done a few events, but this one that's coming up on Saturday is geared towards families with a real focus on the mental health aspect of it. And we're so glad to have Kristen there and other resources that can help families deal with all of the trauma of breast cancer. It's going to be a party with food trucks and giveaways and all kinds of fun things, but there will also be very intentional activities to build family resilience.
And the support, which is most important from the community, the families. Where can we go for more information and get tickets?
pinksink.org. You don't need tickets, it's free.
Perfect. Oh, you don't need tickets?
Free.
Okay, great.
Everything's free.
Cami, thank you for sharing your story. Kristen, great to see you both. Thanks so much.
Thank you.